Are you ready again?
I'm ready again.
You know what I'm saying? This could happen more than once, people. Just so you know, if you've been on the show before, you could be again. Because this has happened. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge. Pull a Yui, park in front of the music store with the red neon light. Take music lessons here, buy vinyl here. There's lots of things you can do here. You can have your very own podcast here in our beautiful studio. Dave will tell you how at the very end. You can like and subscribe and tell all your friends and everybody about what we're doing here now today. And we are here, a repeat performance from Miss Leanne Lovelace is here again.
Hi again.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Soccer season, I presume, is over, which means you're slightly more available.
Little bit.
Right?
Little bit, yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's what we like.
Oh, you remember. That's
Well,
cool.
I do. I did. Because this was somewhat not an issue.
I don't remember when I was here. Was it spring or was it last fall?
Do I have to look it up? I could.
We could, but
I could look it up.
yeah.
Why don't you talk?
It was a while ago.
Talk a little bit.
But not
And then
that
I'll look
long
it up.
ago. Okay.
I'll look it up when you were on.
I probably coached, I think I've coached 2 more seasons since the last time I was here.
Whoa.
Because I don't remember being a winning team last time I was here.
Oh, boy. Oh, sorry.
We won in the spring every
Okay.
game, and then we pretty much lost.
All right. When you say we, who are you talking about?
On my son's team.
Right.
I coach my kiddo.
And how old?
He's 8 now,
Oh, wow.
so it's like a U9. They're fun. They're cute.
Yeah. And you're the coach.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's all volunteer.
That's heavy.
Yeah,
Why
super
not?
heavy. Super heavy.
I remember, I don't know if I said all of this before, but I'm still looking up when you were on. But
Keep scrolling.
my poor kid, my poor parents, I didn't want to do anything but play drums and read books, which nothing has changed. It was really weird. They were a little worried about me, that trying to get me interested in anything else. And they signed me up for soccer. And I was playing defense, and I think I kicked the wrong way. Like, I just did not understand at all. Like, not even in the slightest. No concept whatsoever.
No care.
No, they didn't care, or I didn't care. Nobody. And then you were on 1 year ago.
I was. Okay.
It was episode 134,
Wow.
and we are now at
189.
yeah, something
Wow.
like that.
Cool.
Yeah, you are. Sorry, this is a waste of time.
No, it's okay.
You are.
It was a year ago.
Yeah, 189. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I was so bad at soccer and had no interest whatsoever that somebody on the sidelines had a puppy, and I walked off the game to go pet the puppy, and the people were trying to get rid of the puppy, and they're like, "Fine, you can have a dog," and I ended up with the dog and quit soccer.
Oh my gosh, your parents let you take it?
Yeah, somehow or other they were like, "Oh yeah, it's our, we have too many puppies and we're looking for a home." It turns out.
I think that's a Primus song.
Yeah.
Too many puppies.
Too many puppies. So I believe I might have even left that soccer game with the dog
Wow.
or something. But that began. Then it
And
was like,
that-
oh, he's interested in one other thing. So then it was
Oh yeah, you
playing
did tell me
drums,
this.
reading books, and then I had a dog. That was
Yeah,
it.
you got like the chain event.
Yep.
The chain of events. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents were desperate to get me interested in anything else. So my soccer days did not last.
My son is the one on the sideline who like takes the cones and builds them up into castles, like stacks the balls so that they can, oh look, they're all bouncing on
Yeah.
your back. Like, yeah.
And they're like, dude, there's a game on. You might want to.
Maybe he'll be an architect, and it'll all just be
Well-
precursor to what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't realize it then, but it's just not a bad thing.
No.
Get involved in
Yeah.
sports, teamwork, running around.
Yeah.
You could end up with a puppy.
You could end up with arthritis at 35, like I did.
Oh, so you were into it when you were younger.
Yeah. I played 1 year of D1
Wow.
at LaSalle University, and I didn't particularly care for it.
Wow.
And then I played a whole lot of indoor with just adult leagues. Like I played one night in Glastonbury in my early 20s, one night in Glastonbury inside, one night in Hamden, one night in Torrington. And then I had an outdoor league down this way. I was crazy about it.
When people say, I don't know anything about it, I know obviously it's implicit in its nomenclature, but indoor and outdoor, what is the difference?
Oh, indoor is faster.
Oh, okay.
You're on
I'm so
turf.
glad you didn't go, duh. One's
No,
inside
not
out.
at all.
You know what I'm getting.
Why would you know if you didn't do it?
Right.
No, it's what are the plays in football? I have no idea. How many points do you get if you score a field goal? I don't know.
I do, but that's okay.
I know nothing about that, but I
Sure.
could tell you about soccer. And then, no, indoor was a lot faster. For me,
Really?
it really improves, your touch on the ball and how well you
Why?
see space, because it's just, everything's moving faster. And it's in a smaller area. And when you had walls, you used to treat it like hockey.
Oh,
You
all
could
right.
use the wall to give and go to yourself.
Really? Yeah. You can play the wall?
They don't have walls in too many places anymore. I think maybe Lasik Rona, the place.
So there's no out of bounds?
There is now with a lot of these indoor ones.
Yeah.
They have lines and it's out. But no, when I did it, it was walled.
Wow.
And it was and I would play 4 games a night.
So when you say but why is it faster?
Well, the ball moves faster on turf than it
All right.
does
That's what I'm
on
after.
grass.
I got it. Okay.
And
so that's the thing.
So the speed of the game is just boom, 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 boom.
I
boom.
see. Okay.
You score a lot more goals. It's not
Right.
3-1. It's
I got you.
12-8 sometimes.
I see. So turf
Yeah, it was
versus
turf.
ground. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Are there some people that have never played outdoors and they're just boom, this is the way it is?
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I think most kids start outside.
Okay.
And you move inside for the winter.
I
Or
see.
to train,
Yeah.
I think the first time I ever played indoors was when I was playing Premier my sophomore year of high school or junior year of high school. And we had to practice in a gym up at Foreman School up in Litchfield. I played for the Northwest Rovers.
Oh boy.
It was a new Premier team. It was awesome. It was some of the best 3 years of my life. And some of the best friends of my life. I think that's the best part about sports. I tell the kids I coach on a tangent, but
Sure. No,
it's not how many games you win when it doesn't even matter now. What I remember is who I met, who I'm still friends with,
sure.
how much fun I had.
Sure.
I don't remember certain games or tournaments or,
Right.
certain goals I remember scoring that were exciting, but
Sure.
you remember the people.
Yeah. Well,
That's why I like bands.
I was going to say
Or don't like bands. I'm kidding.
No, you're not. You're not kidding. You're not kidding. No, I was just thinking the same thing. And you spend a certain part of your musical career thinking that you have a career, that it's going to be a straight line and I have a goal and I'm going to make it and it's going to be this and that. And then in the end, I realized after doing it for that many years, the only thing I remember is all the laughs and the people that I met and friends that I still have and things and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
The gigs themselves, I don't know, maybe some of them.
Some.
But most I remember the drives home and,
The feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that's a weird thing about performing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when I'm really nervous, I imagine myself in the car on the way home. I tell my students that too.
Oh, really?
You're going to get in your car and go home and go to sleep. And so is everybody else.
Yeah.
Why be so nervous?
Yeah.
It's
You
not
get
gonna make or
nervous?
break. Oh, I still do a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah, I get excited now. For
Sure.
my own,
Sure.
when I'm with my own original band, I'm leading and I'm learning how to be a leader. I'm in the 3rd year of it now, so I feel I'm kind of got it.
Yeah.
But still, there's so many moving parts that I get nervous about things I can't control.
Sure.
And I get nervous about the things I can control. Am I remembering everything? Am I cueing everybody?
Yeah.
Is everything going to the time? Is everybody on stage when they need to? Just all the little things.
What the hell is he wearing? Why is he wearing that?
Yeah, Normally, I try to cover all those bases before. So it's the lead up to a Leanne Lovelace show is more stressful than being there. Being there is exciting and fun.
Right, that's the fun part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah, I was never a band leader per se,
It's not
but I
easy.
can only imagine. No.
It's like herding cats sometimes.
Yeah.
Although the people I'm working with now, everyone pretty much, when I send a text out to the 9 people,
Yeah.
the only one that doesn't respond is my stepdaughter, but she lives with us, so
Right.
we're good there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Everybody pretty much gets back about availability for dates and,
Yeah.
rehearsals.
That's cool.
Thank God.
And that is the Leanne Lovelace band. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I don't have like a Leanne Lovelace and the...
Yeah.
I can't
Nah,
think of
screw
anything.
them. Whatever.
If you think of something, let me know.
I have a new band name for you. You ready?
Uh-oh.
And people, if they watch the show at some point later, they'll remember this time as either the pre intergalactical enslavement days or whatever. But here's your band, Leanne Lovelace and the Drones of New Jersey. That's your new band name. I want someone's band name to be. We're the Drones of New Jersey. And we have a song.
Well, when the alien invasion happens,
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Or the staged alien. What are they saying? It's
Whatever.
going to be a staged one?
I have no. You know what's funny? Yeah. So
Sorry.
people of the future, if you're listening, we're in the middle of drone mania, drone hysteria. What does it mean? I'm like, I don't care. Annihilate. Just annihilate us. I don't care. If you just tell me where to line up, where am I supposed to be? What's the deal? What do you need? What do you need? Bone marrow? What do you need? Because what am I going to do about it? It's
nothing.
China or it's the intergalactic. It's like, okay, that's fine.
I would like to
Or it's
think
nothing.
this.
So what's your theory?
I would like to think that it's us.
Us.
And we're conducting some sort of search or some sort of test to make sure that we are prepared for, like, if somebody smuggles nukes in. These things can detect nukes. So maybe it's just all, you know. It could be. I mean, you read so much stuff.
That's what I mean.
You don't know what's real and you don't know what's fake. And does it really matter? You can't. I mean, I could try to shoot one down with a BB gun. They're like 13 by 6.
Sure.
It's not really going to do much.
Yeah. Yeah. No, everybody's got. Yeah, I don't even bother with a theory yet because I'm just like, who cares? I don't care.
I like my theory. It keeps me happy. I feel like,
Yeah.
it's because if it was somebody else's, we'd be all over that.
One would think, yeah, sure.
We'd
and it would, maybe it would take time, but they would figure it out,
You're going to watch this in a year and be like, oh, it was that.
Yeah, we go, look how free we were before we were harnessed to a thing that harvested our fear or whatever.
You know what I worry about? It's like, okay, so in 2019,
yeah,
around December, everybody started getting that upper respiratory thing.
Yep.
And they had no name for it.
I had it too. Yeah, it was weird.
It was probably COVID.
Yeah, it probably was.
Early on.
Yeah.
And then January, everything, started to get ramped up. And then March 20th, everything closed down.
Yeah.
So I feel like, okay, is this the calm, this sort of thing is happening before some other storm happens again?
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I can't seem to care.
I know.
I'm just kind of like, let it come.
I feel the
Whatever.
same way at this point. Well, except, I got kids.
Yeah.
And,
well, sure. That's that.
People are like, oh,
I don't,
man,
so I don't give a damn.
I would never raise kids. My aunt says to me the other day, oh, I would.
You're like,
I
yeah,
don't
but I
envy
didn't
you."
know
I'm
8
like,
years ago there was going to be.
No.
I didn't know any of this was going to happen.
Shoot, man. I wanted one. I have a stepdaughter. It's like,
Sure.
Navigating the election, navigating all of it.
I know.
Is like a daily
Really?
trauma.
And
that
they're
you're
aware
just
of it?
trying to-
They're aware or they're not?
All
or
of
you
it.
just have to, yeah.
They hear all this stuff in school.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. It's not a simple thing like, is Santa real? That's a solid question. And
Don't
there's
answer
an
it.
answer
Don't
for
answer
that.
it on here.
There's an answer for that.
Sure.
Santa's real when you believe in Santa.
Sure. Yep.
I believe in Santa. Santa brings me gifts.
I probably talked about this. Actually, now that I'm an adult, apparently, I would like to maybe come up with answers. But I believed longer than I should have because it was so magical. There was 1 year, and I've since looked it up, and I'm like, wow, you did a number on yourself. I remember we were out at at a party, family, whatever, and they did that thing where they came on the radio or they came on the news saying an object has been discovered by radar hovering over there, and I got myself into such a state that I broke out in hives.
Oh my God.
And we had to leave. I dumped so much adrenaline into my system, so excited over Santa coming.
Yep.
And I was probably too old.
You're never too old.
But
John.
I mean, I know.
I still
But I'm sure my
believe.
parents were like, "Oh, for Christ's sake, like, dude," and like I freaked.
Broke out.
But I was also, eating chocolate, everything. I'm sure there was. I can't imagine how much was coursing through my system.
Cortisol.
I freaked out when I heard Santa. Oh, that was it. I broke out in hives, and they had to put me in the bathtub at home, and I lost it.
Oh my gosh.
Lost it.
I'm so sorry.
It was.
That's sad. And kind of funny.
and now I'm like, there's drones. They're coming to enslave us, and I'm like, I don't care.
Cool.
I don't even care.
Bring it on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna break out in hives over that, but
No.
But yeah, I believed so hard that I couldn't stand it. I couldn't handle it.
Oh.
Yeah, it was funny. And then when my parents kind of broke the news, I argued, no. My dad's like, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No. And it's still,
It's beautiful.
And Santa still comes to my house.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm lucky, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To still hold on to that belief.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Anyway, yeah.
I'm
drones. Maybe it's Santa.
Oh, that would be cool.
Maybe.
The drones are Santa's elves,
and he's checking it out
and making sure.
Getting a.
Maybe they're mapping the earth.
Because that's what they would do. That's what he would do now. Maybe it's Santa.
Leanne Lovelace and the Santa drones.
The Santa drones. They're figuring it out. They're like, we got it. We have to triangulate. We have, now that we can map the terrain, we can be quicker because that's what it is.
Wow.
You know what?
There it is.
John Peckman.
We
just solved it on the John Peckman podcast. The drones are Santa's, what do you call it? You do gigs. It's his advance. He's advancing the gig.
He's checking out the parameters.
To be more efficient, to get more done, to
Yeah.
get to China quick, or whoever, to get wherever.
He's got to make his loop right. He's got to do the loop
like,
right.
Like
he can't backtrack.
like any organization, tighter and tighter. Right. And then when drone technology comes, he goes, you know what? He's going to make sure that Jenny's still on Piper Drive or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Wow.
That's what the drones are.
Oh, that'd be great. I'm going to go with that.
Does everyone hear me? You hear me out there? Just chill out. It's Santa advancing the gig. You know what? It's a good thing you came here.
Aren't you glad that we're talking?
I'm saying we figured it out.
Wow. Solving every
either that or
one by one.
Either that or we're being intergalactically enslaved, which is also fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally like, will we still have Netflix? Like, who cares?
Can we still just watch a movie once
in a
while?
Be like, yeah.
Will we have electricity?
Yeah, I don't know.
Running water? I don't know. We're on a well.
Yeah.
We'll last a little longer than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have a greenhouse or a bunker.
No, I don't have any of that either.
No.
I got nothing. No. I don't care.
We got a couple cars.
I do think, though, don't you think, I thought about this with the drone thing. It does seem kind of weird. Like, do you remember when, we'll talk about music or not eventually, but Leanne Lovelace is a singer. She's a singer of songs. She has bands. She's going to tell us about her
talking
gigs.
about material.
But first, before we get to that, so I remember when cell phones were first a thing, and I can remember there was no laws or rules, and you were like sharing the road with people that were just blowing through stop signs. Like, we just can't, we still can't, but back then you couldn't even. Like, people are just, they got a phone call and they just crashed the car. And I remember thinking, it was like the Wild West, and I'm like, there is no way that this can be a thing. It's like jarts. It's like we had giant darts that you could, you're like, how long, and then finally you're like, no, there's no more.
Can't do those.
And I was like, we're in a bubble with the phone thing, and then you remember there was a bubble where now it was the law. It took a year or two to catch up, and then you would get fined. I got a ticket.
Ooh.
And I remember it was right on 66. The cop was like, dude, I was next to you for a mile watching you, and you didn't even see the cop. And I'm like, fair enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Oops.
But then they enforce it. Now they don't even, we're just over it. We're back where we started. And they don't even enforce it. That's what I think is happening with the drones. Because when you really think about it, you're like, so you can fly a drone over my house and take pictures? No.
I can't fly our drone. I bought Matt a nice
Oh, so you're part of the problem.
drone, but he can't. He needs a license to be able to fly it anywhere but our own yard.
I see. Okay, maybe I don't understand.
FCC or what is it?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
FCC, the whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
They regulate it, so you
The
have to get the license.
FAA.
FAA. Thank you. FCC is radio.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I just made that up. I
FAA,
remembered
is
those
it?
letters in this story. I don't know what they stand for.
The-
The Federal Aviation
Administration, whatever it
Administration,
is.
yeah.
Oh man, somebody's watching this, correcting us.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's fine. No one's watching us.
I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter. The overlords are watching. All right, so then maybe I am wrong. Because I'm just thinking, like, dude, I get it. I don't own the space above my dwelling to the Milky Way.
No, we
But-
can go like 1,500 feet up.
Okay. But, like, the day that I come out in my yard and there's some jerk's drone flying around, I'm going to knock it with a broomstick or something. Like, and then what are you going to sue me?
There was like a big thing on the town that I'm in, the town, like the what's going on in your town.
Oh, yeah. What is
And-
going on in your town?
Not much.
Yeah,
Cats are lost.
Right,
There's
right.
coyotes.
Right,
There's
sure.
Yeah, I'm lucky now. But there was this woman, this guy, the neighbor was flying a drone like right at the windows of her kids.
Right. Yeah,
And they
no.
found out it was a local, they own like a store, like a family owned small shop in
not
town.
good. Yeah.
So like a lot of people boycotted the
Yeah,
town. I'm
yeah.
thinking, well, if the dude is like peeping,
Yeah.
like why? Just stop.
Yeah, you're stupid.
Like, and they're loud. The ones that are up,
Yeah.
are
yeah.
not. You can't hear them. I thought I saw one on the way here. I didn't even say
I
it
thought I
until
did
now.
too. I know. I saw something
I
weird
said,
too.
Nate, come out here. Is that because my eyes were all blurry looking
Yeah,
at my phone
sure,
before I came?
sure.
I'm like, do you think that's a drone or is it a plane? Because it's kind of in the flight
I
path
know,
of Bradley. And
I
he goes, Ma, I think it's a drone. I can't hear it. I'm like, oh man, I think it is.
Yeah, I know. I somebody posted something in my town Facebook group, and I'm like, are they taking the piss? There was someone. They were like, look, and it was a plane. I'm like, dude, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Like, are you? And I'm like, they must be kidding. But I'm like, dude, that's a plane. I
Clearly.
can hear it.
Right.
It looks like a plane. It's a plane. So now anyway.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. By the time this even posts,
We'll have answers.
Yeah, and it won't even matter.
Yeah.
But anyway, so musically, what are you up to? You're pretty busy because you were busy last time.
Yeah.
So you're jumping around.
I had a crazy year. I had one gig with you, I think. We
Yeah.
played down in Southington. Maybe two.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was fun.
With
Yeah.
Ray Morant, with Soul
Yeah.
Tsunami.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
And they actually asked me about Valentine's Day, but I'm going to be away. I
okay.
would have called you for that.
Yeah.
Going away, finally, taking a vacation for myself. So yeah, this year was absolutely tons of traveling with Back to the Garden, 1969,
Yeah.
the Woodstock tribute.
Yeah.
It was great. It was the first time in my life I ever did that much traveling and rooms, and you're in one place one night. It wasn't like a tour. We didn't have a tour bus or anything.
Right.
I basically had to trade my car in by the end of the summer because I
Yeah,
wrecked.
right.
The transmission was getting weak, and
Oh boy.
well, I had kind of a crappy car anyway, but now I've got like a more reliable one for all the traveling that's probably going to happen
Yep.
this year, starting like March 1st. So the band is on a break for the winter. Gary doesn't really keep, because we're all from all over the place anyway.
Right.
So
You
that
just want to hit the season.
that's just the season. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of outdoor, but it's a lot of theaters too. We do the Kate,
Yeah.
Seven Angels. Like a lot of those gigs are already booked, so I already
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And that's good and bad, because I do want to book my band like once every 6 weeks somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what I did this last year. I had like one big thing almost every month. I wanted
Yeah.
6 or 7 for the year, and I think I had 7.
Okay.
I met the goal. I wanted at least 6 for mine.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole production to bring my whole band out. But I'm going in the studio.
Oh, nice.
So now I got together Fred. Do you know Fred DeLeon?
No.
He is like the brain behind Vintage Vibe, which replaced the Fender Rhodes.
Oh.
So like Stevie Wonder has one. They
cool.
It's the V. It's
Cool.
got like the V
Yeah.
on the front, and it's incredible what he's been able to do with like the tines, and I don't know. He's got
Yeah.
all kinds of patents and stuff.
Yeah.
He'll correct me if he watches this, but
Yeah.
he's going to produce the 6 songs. I'm going to record the 6 songs that I need to just record.
Yeah.
Be done.
You can move on with your life.
They're old.
There's songs about a breakup that you don't even remember hardly, probably.
Yeah, I mean, just
Yeah.
tunes that I wrote like in my 20s
Yeah,
we've been playing.
Right.
Because they're completed and they're arranged. But
Right.
I have so much new stuff that I've been trying to work on since
Sure.
like 18.
Yeah. You got to
And
get these out.
I just need to, I feel like, when, so I'm kind of OCD. So like before I cook, the sink needs to be clean.
Sure.
The stove needs to be clean.
Sure.
Like I cannot cook. I can't prepare.
It's reasonable.
So it's the same thing. Like I feel like I can't move on with this new stuff
Right.
that I'm writing right
Right.
now until I finish
That makes sense.
getting those out. A couple of them I recorded as the Royal Din a long time ago. We all did.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to, because I've added horns and now I have Chrissy for harmonies, and I just want the new arrangements recorded.
Why not?
And then I'll have those 6. I have the other 2 that I did, and there's 2 more that were already recorded. And I'll put them all together when we're done, and it'll be an album, and I'll have a product.
And then you can move on.
And then I don't know how to release it because nobody has CD players anymore.
Right.
So what's the point in releasing an album?
Can
Can you answer that?
I don't know, but I have a plan myself. I don't know. I have a much smaller stakes, but I've decided that I'm going to record a dulcimer album because we talked about that, did we?
No, I don't think so.
I played a mountain dulcimer, which is this 3-string little, and
No way.
yeah, I'm not good, but I started playing it when we were in lockdown. I discovered one, and I was like, I'll play this while the world burns, and I'll just sit there like a skeleton, and and I dig it, and I kind of like learned a bunch of stuff, and then I kind of bottomed out. I felt like, okay, I think I know as much as I could figure out from YouTube. I recently went to a dulcimer festival.
Cool.
To see other people play, and I'm in the mix. I was like, I'm doing okay.
You hang with them.
Yeah, I was, but what I saw, there was other people at the festival that were playing hammered dulcimers, which are really cool, and that's what I would really love to play, and I probably could do a decent job because that's this.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. There was at one point when I was getting hot on the mountain dulcimer, I made a list of like 10, 12 songs either that I was writing or could learn or could arrange, because I have a pump organ. I have organic, it's like I'm going to, and then I dropped the ball. So what I'm going to do, making it official, I'm going to record the 10 or 12 little things on the mountain dulcimer. And then once I finish that, I'm going to reward myself with buying a hammered dulcimer and starting all over.
Perfect.
But what I'm going to try to do in this day and age, I hate to say it's a little different for you because your stuff is going to be a little more real. I'm just going to make a video for each song with photos, and I'm just going to, my album is going to be a YouTube playlist, and that's it.
Wow.
That's it. It'll just be like, here.
The audio with the video,
Yeah.
You're releasing it only on YouTube, not on like Spotify
I think so.
or...
I don't know. I don't even know if maybe I will. But that's how I picture it, of like a CD, I don't know. It's just going to be somewhere, and, that's it.
Wow.
I think. So that's what I'm going to do this winter.
You could press it to vinyl and sell it here.
Maybe. Yeah, that would be interesting.
More people are selling vinyl than they are
Yeah.
CDs.
Yeah, that could be. I might do that. But I have winter to finish that. And then in the spring, I'm going to drive to Asheville and buy a hammered dulcimer from a person. It'll be a trip. I'm going to figure it out. My wife is like, yeah, that sounds like fun. Like, we're going to go on a pilgrimage. I'm going to drive, I'm going to get someone to make me one.
Hopefully the Blue Ridge Parkway will be open again.
Or something.
You can take that
down
into Asheville.
Right.
It's a beautiful
But that's
drive.
the plan. I don't know if that'll actually happen.
That sounds like a realistic plan.
Yeah. I just have to I got to record all my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
I've been saying that for 4 years.
I know.
I've released 2 singles.
I know. Well, it's not easy. It happens.
It does. That sounds so fun. It's just going to be the dulcimer.
Well,
Instrumentals?
yeah.
That's
Instrumentals. Yeah, that's all.
Wow.
But I could do arrangements. Like I have a couple different ones. I got a 3-string one and a 4-string one, and like so, I can arrange. I can have parts.
Yeah.
And then I have like a pump organ.
Right.
Which is cool.
Right. You said that.
For that, I have like an acoustic guitar bass.
Okay.
So if I'm ever gonna play bass, I could bring that in, but like no electric.
And no vocals.
No vocals.
You're not going to sing.
Nah, I don't need to.
You should sing.
I could make.
Everyone says that John Peckman should sing.
Well, whatever. And then when I do, people say that I shouldn't.
No, that's not true. People, everyone that when your name comes up, they're like, have you heard him sing?
Oh.
I think I said this the last time I was
Really?
here.
Who says that?
That's
funny.
Various different people. Many people.
Yeah, no, I can sing. I don't need to sing in a. So the mountain dulcimer, I have a million mountain. Well, I shouldn't say a million. I have 5 or 6 mountain dulcimer records that people would make back in the day in the early '80s, late '70s. There was the great folk scare,
Right.
and so like I got a bunch of records, and that's the thing is it's just instrumental people. I have 5, 6 people different dulcimer records, and I'm like, I want to make one of those. I can make one of those.
Cool.
And it's okay.
It's different. It's
yeah.
awesome.
No, it's fun. It's not. I like old timey. I like a lot of things, but I fell in love with. I like old timey music. I like mandolins and I even like banjos. I like all that stuff. So for me to make music with an instrument that's kind of it can sound similar to I have a mandolin too, but like you can make that old timey sound. And I'm like I dig it. I'd like to have a nice acoustic. Zeppelin 3 kind of, album and just go, I did this. I played everything on this. Here it is.
Yeah.
And that's the goal.
Cool, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm excited for that.
We'll see.
You'll have to do a podcast with just you playing your stuff.
Oh, maybe.
Interviewing yourself.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll come and interview you about your album.
I interview myself all the time. But yeah. But that'll be the goal. So I know that it's difficult to record.
Oh, you're gonna do it at a studio, or you're doing it yourself?
I have a Zoom recorder that's as big as my hand.
Like the 8-track one.
That's all it is.
I have one somewhere.
And you just place it in the. I have the recorder on a stand, and I just fool around it like, oh, it sounds good here.
Yeah,
and then
it's the digital.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my God, I have mine.
You can do infinite number of tracks.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh, that's wild.
It just sounds like a thing.
I had Pro Tools once, the M-Box, M-Box 2 Pro.
Yeah, I didn't even get that far.
I bought that in like 07.
Yeah.
With an Adderall controller.
Yeah.
That's how I wrote like some of the first songs I ever wrote.
Sure.
Because it was just the M-Box, a laptop, Adderall.
Why not?
And I did a lot of dog sitting, so I'd bring that rig everywhere I went, and I'd be alone so I could write.
Yep.
Because that was just me and whoever's dogs I was watching.
Yep. That's cool.
I think that's the block now, not to change the subject, but the writing block.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you write, but it's hard for me to write when I'm not completely alone.
Oh.
Like when I know, when my husband is, we're not married. Well, my husband, whatever.
Yeah,
when Matt's in the, what is it, civil union, whatever, when it's been like 10 years.
Your old man.
My old man.
Yeah.
It has like, we're in a split level and he's got like the basement. So he's like down there. I know he can't hear me if I'm at the piano or on my guitar up in the bedroom, wherever. But it's still just like that whole process. I feel like I need to be alone. And I'm never alone to do it. But I have a studio I can go to.
Yeah.
I have my own studio in the safe house. But I need, like I said, as part of this journey. Yeah. Like schedule the recording, get everybody in. Let's figure out when we're doing and whose house we're doing it at. We're probably gonna record at Nick DeRico's. Do you know Nick DeRico? Drummer?
Yeah.
He's playing drums in my band for the last couple of years. Yeah. So he has a setup in his basement.
Right.
So we'll track like rhythm with his place, and we'll do all the other stuff at Fred's in Hamden.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'll probably track my vocals at Long Hill in Shelton with Paul Opalak.
Wow.
I love him. And he knows how to get a good, he and I've been working with him for 13, 14 years.
So he knows your vocal chain. He knows
Yeah,
signal
I
chain.
know I'll feel comfortable, and it'll be formal enough going there rather than somebody's house or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm gonna get that done, but at the same time, I gotta block out the time that I'm gonna just go to the studio and finish what I've started. There's like 15 that I've started,
Yeah.
and they're not done. It's stupid. I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, there was that one, and you must do the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a bridge for that tune. Or
It's always the bridge, isn't it?
Kinda.
Or I steal something else from another song for the bridge
Right, and then you realize I got to replace it because it's just literally.
and then throw the other song away,
Yep.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Unless I really like the words, then I got to save the words, and hopefully I can use those in something else.
Yep. It never ends.
But it's good. It just,
What would you say? I know it's impossible, but if you had to characterize what your original music is like, what's it like?
God, I hate that question.
I know. Female vocalist, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, there's that.
For,
some of the songs
for somebody not us, who what's it like?
How do you categorize
Right.
Tedeschi Trucks?
Right. Sure.
What is their genre?
Sure.
It's not Southern rock.
Right.
It's not folk. It's
Sure.
not rock.
Sure.
It's not blues.
Right.
I would say it's that.
Yeah.
I mean, with the horn section,
Soulful.
Chris Jensen's writing all the arrangements.
Right.
I mean, and he's just so amazing.
Yeah.
And him and Josh Bruneau and Steve DeFala and Alex Johnson, they're rounding it out on bass clarinet. And I don't know. It's so hard because every single one of these songs, these old ones that I'm going to finally record, they didn't fall into, like, one is kind of a blues. One
There
is
might
kind of
have
like
been
a New
no
Orleans.
Tedeschi Trucks back then, even. So you weren't even emulating. What were you thinking of, or you weren't?
Three chords and a prayer and some words.
Right. Yeah.
So some of these songs I literally hate because I feel like they're trivial. I feel like they're simple, but I need to get them out.
Yeah.
People like them.
Yeah.
If people said, "Oh God, Leanne, don't ever do that song again," that would be
Yeah.
it. If one person said that, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't know. I Drink It Down, the one that is the newest one.
Yeah.
That's got a train beat, and then it's got a halftime chorus with a big hook.
Yeah.
So is it country or is it blues? Because the primary melody in the chorus is pentatonic.
Yeah.
So
But
how would you
generally-
describe Chris Cornell on his own?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm not comparing myself to them, but that's where I'd like to
Right.
be.
But you're not an EDM.
No.
Right. Yeah.
So it kind of falls into blues. It kind of falls into rock.
Yeah.
It kind of falls into jazz.
Yep.
And sometimes folk.
Yep.
And I don't know. Like when I enter them in the CD Baby to release them,
Yeah.
they're like, who do you sound like? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
supposed to put a name in here so it'll like trigger,
Yeah. Yeah,
Susan
right.
Tedeschi? Like,
Yeah,
I
right.
want to come up on that playlist. I want to come up on a Nathaniel Rateliff
I guess you
playlist.
got to think like that, right?
I guess.
Maybe.
I hate the fact that we have to be content creator. And I love this. This is great
Yeah,
content.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I'm saying, like, Nicole Zaritis, for example, I used to take lessons from her. She won a Grammy last year for just Best Jazz Vocal Album.
Oh, wow.
And now her husband, Dan Puglak, is
Who was
up.
here?
He was here. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah,
He's up
yeah.
for a Grammy.
Yeah, right.
She's in his band.
Right. Yeah, that's wild.
Her content, for me, is like, she's as real as it gets.
Yeah.
And so is he.
Yeah.
Like, they're just
yeah.
real people.
Yeah.
And so she posts, like, every day on all the socials, these funny videos, or sometimes serious.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just her singing, which is what I want, but she knows what to do, and she
Yeah,
posts the best real stuff. But I don't know how to take that leap and just be like,
Yeah.
look at me. I have funny ideas,
I know.
but I don't know how to, I don't know.
Well,
That's a leap that I don't want to take. I just want to make music and perform.
I know.
But I feel like the ones that are like getting noticed or whatever it is, I don't care about fame. I don't care
Right.
about any of that. I just want to make a living
Sure.
doing what I love, and I love what I do right now. So, but I know nothing is forever.
Right.
Like the Back to the Garden, That band, I love that band.
Yeah.
I get to sing Janis Joplin and Grace Slick and
Yeah.
Melanie.
Yeah, sure.
And harmonies on like Sly and the Family Stone. And I get to hear people say, wow, you really brought us back to Woodstock. We were there. And like I wear a piece of the stage. My friend
Nice.
Terry LaChance gave me this. It's a piece of the stage.
Who also was here. Wow, that's cool.
She was at my house earlier for a voice lesson.
Oh, nice. Who else is in that band that was here? Someone else was here.
From Back to the Garden?
I think so.
Gary Adamson is our leader.
Okay.
He's out of Rye. Greg Gruber's out of the Bronx.
All right, never mind.
Or Queens.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
He's in Queens. Fred Walcott, who passed away. I don't think he ever made a show, but you might know him. He was the percussion player.
No.
Oh, Marcos Torres plays with us. Do you know him? Percussion?
No.
He's from Bridgeport.
All right. It might have been something else. Sorry, whoever you...
No, it's okay.
I forgot. Yeah, no, that is cool. I'm on a I'm in the middle of, I don't know how often it is, every 3-5 years. I'm in the middle of a Doors bender right now.
Are you really?
Yeah. I like the Doors.
Which album?
All of them. Weird Scenes Inside the Gold Mine, which was kind of like not a greatest hits, but the first compilation.
Okay.
Only a few years, like I think like 73 or something, only a few years after he died, that was the first compilation. It's a double album, and my older sister had it.
Okay.
So when I decided to check out my older sister's records, that was the one. And it's a good one because it's kind of got album cuts, kind of.
Okay.
And that's like, it kind of starts there for me and then radiates out. And I love the first album. And then I just kind of pick.
I think my favorite Doors song is Indian Summer.
Oh, nice.
Probably because I like all the sad songs, and that's the one I grasped onto back in high school.
Yeah. No, I think the Doors are so I have a theory. You want to hear okay.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Yeah, you got to.
Here's my Doors theory, about the Doors, which I don't mean any disrespect at all. I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, but I think it's kind of beautiful. So all of them are failures at something that they were trying to do. John Densmore, trying to be a jazz drummer. Not a great jazz drummer, sorry.
It's okay.
Great drummer,
Yeah.
and did things for that band that I don't think anyone could have done. But he's trying to play jazz and not. Ray Manzarek grew up in Chicago, thinks he's a blues organ player, but he's not because he's playing at Vox. He doesn't quite get it. Robbie Krieger wants to play flamenco and kind of plays slide, wants to be blues, but isn't. But and then Jim Morrison wants to be a poet.
Yeah.
But can't be. But they all somehow created something that was none of those things and their own thing.
Right.
Like Robbie Krieger kind of does his slide thing, but it's not like a blues slide thing, but he incorporates that idea and they all arrive at this thing that could only be made by those four people trying and failing at something. But like if John Densmore was a better jazz drummer, it's like, congratulations. No one would ever remember you. You would just be a jazz drummer, and that would be it.
Right.
But it's like they created their own thing that could only be created by those four people in that time, and doesn't sound like anything else at all.
Isn't that the definition of like an awesome band?
Right.
You could replace people all day.
Right.
And it's never the same.
Right. Yeah. It's only
the Beatles.
Right.
How do you take any one of them out of that equation? Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the Doors wouldn't have been the anomaly that they were.
If any one person, if John Densmore succeeded, they would have been a jazz band.
Right.
If Ray Manzarek succeeded, they would have been a blues band.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they all failed at the right. Not maybe fail's not the word, but they you know what I mean?
They were. What is that expression that you're only as good as
you're
the sum of your parts?
The whole the
whole is never
what is
greater
that?
than somebody's gonna correct me.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, what's that saying, Dave? The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. When you put all the parts together, they add up to something that's greater than just the parts.
Than just the parts.
Because the synergy of the adding together of the thing creates another thing.
And I love that because I feel like I've learned that lesson over the years too, like hiring and having different people in the band.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm going to say it. It's going to be freeing. You ready?
Yeah.
I don't care how good somebody is. If they're a jerk, if he or she is a jerk, if they're if they're egotistical, if they think they're better than everybody else, or they're miserable and there's just no fun vibe
I'm
and
taking
no
this
chemistry.
all personally because that's all.
No.
That's me, all those things.
Why? No, I don't think so at all.
Well, it
Oh,
depends.
dude, I love gigging with you. Yeah, you can be a curmudgeon.
Yeah, my vibe
right?
gets heavy. Yeah.
You can be heavy, but you can still have chemistry with people. You're not giving a vibe that you hate everyone around you.
No. Only some people.
You might hate yourself while you're
definitely.
doing. I do plenty of times.
For sure.
But I'm not projecting that onto everybody around me.
No, I don't want to make people uncomfortable. I just can't get out of my own way.
But I don't want to be fake either. I don't want to pretend like I like everybody when I don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I performance is performance. I think once you step on stage, it doesn't matter where you're at. You leave your junk in the car.
Yeah.
And then you can pick that back up on your way home.
Yep.
And that's the hard part is like getting out of the car, being miserable to the door, and then getting in the door and be like, hi, everybody, what's going on? And that's fine. But because I feel like in smiling and in getting into that role, like it does raise your good, dopamine and all that stuff. And singing and performing alone raises it. So I need it for therapy. Otherwise, I would be miserable, nasty. I would never leave my house.
Right.
But I don't care how good somebody is. Like I won't. I feel like I'd rather have my friends.
Yeah.
Like in my own band, I feel like I finally have just friends.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I have people that I absolutely love, and I've had so many people over the years say, "Oh, Leanne, will you, why would you play with so and so and so and so
when you could have whatever." Yeah.
Well, what does it matter? Why?
Right.
Like that would be like replacing anyone in the Doors for somebody
a real organ
more
player,
poetic than Jim Morrison,
right, or something.
All right, so you're gonna hire Bob Dylan for the Doors,
right?
How would that have worked out?
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
It wouldn't have worked. So I feel like that mixture. It's some is not greater than
I know what you mean.
than the parts.
Yeah,
I can't ever remember that
I
kind
know.
of kitschy stuff. The cliches.
We're gonna look it up. We're gonna get this right before we.
Someone is yelling at us right
but
now.
But I know. We just can't. I don't have that.
I'm not. I don't know any of the expressions.
The sum is greater than. The sum is greater than the parts. All right. Let's see. The sum is greater than the parts means that when individual components are combined to create a whole, the resulting whole is more valuable or powerful than the individual parts on their own. Yes.
That's exactly what you said.
So the sum is greater than the parts. That's what we're saying. So when you put those things together, a different thing happens.
So now I need to go listen to the Doors on my way home.
Yeah. I like the Doors. I said this before. I won't talk too much about it, but it's minor, and I realized I was very lucky. Again, the couple of years when I was doing nothing but playing drums, my parents were trying to get me out of the house to play soccer, and all I wanted to do was I was on a mission to figure out the sounds I was hearing. What are they? And then my older sister had records that were, she was older than me, so it was like, let's see what she's into. And that Doors record, I learned to play note for note and break on through. The first track is a bossa nova, like right away. And I realized by the time I learned that double album, I learned a bossa nova. I used brushes. I played a shuffle. There's a waltz. There's another song that's in 5. And I'm like, this was a great. Right when I remember Vic, my drum teacher, Blue Monday, Blue Sunday. What is? And it's like, those are brushes. Like, what's that?
Right.
Bought brushes and learned to make that sound. And that was because of the Doors.
Wow.
Because John Densmore was trying to reach. He was reaching.
For all the styles.
For all the different things. They kind of swing. There's a couple of things where he's swinging a little bit, a different touch on the ride. And you're like, oh, that's is
what he
jazz.
Was going for.
It's kind of jazz, but not different than Peter Criss, which up till then, that's all I heard, which is fine. But you didn't get that from... So the Doors, props.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of styles.
That's cool.
Different styles.
Yeah. Wow.
And they get bluesy.
I used to listen to them all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, high school, college, but
Yeah.
then I just kind of like stopped.
Yeah. 'Cause you didn't do drugs anymore. No, that's the problem. I guess. I don't know.
That's so true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I discovered all my brother's albums,
Right.
which was, Closer to the Edge and,
Right. Sure.
oh, God, all his Pink Floyd albums. And
Yeah.
he's 10 years older.
Right.
So I'm 8 in the basement
Right.
playing my dad's and my mom's really old stuff. No,
Yeah. Sure,
my
sure.
mom would be like 84 right now.
Oh, wow.
My dad would be 95.
Wow. Yeah.
So, I mean, there was that.
Yep.
But then it was my brother's album. My brother was cool, man. He
Right.
was
Same
10.
thing. Yeah. I wanted to be like my sister.
Yeah,
She was
so
cooler.
you latch on to whatever you can there. He had all the Who albums
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And then there was some of it that I couldn't stand. Like, it took me a while to get into his Billy Joel albums.
Yeah. Right. Right.
But
yeah,
then
my
once
sister
I
had 'em.
did, I was like, one of my first CDs when CDs came out was the Billy Joel Greatest Hits.
Sure. Yep.
Also Inner Circle and like,
Yeah. Right.
what's
right.
that band that did I Saw the Sign? Who was that?
Ace of Base.
Ace of Base. That was like one of my first CDs in like 4th grade.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm dating myself.
Yeah.
Now
No,
everybody
that's
knows.
fine. Yeah. Me too.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
anyway,
Killer.
that's crazy.
Older siblings. Yeah. You want to be like them.
I just visited my half brother who's 16 years older than me last weekend. That was nice.
That's cool.
He plays guitar and sings.
Hey.
I didn't meet him until I was 22. The first song
And you're
he
like
played,
on the same path.
Oh, yeah.
Kinda.
He was a JAG in
Yeah,
the Colonel in the
yeah.
Air Force and all that.
Oh wow.
Like, because he grew up in Phoenix, and his parents,
Yeah.
his adopted parent, but his parents, his dad was like a general.
Oh wow.
And
It's a Jim Morrison story.
right,
Yeah.
he's in Maryland now. But when we met, I was like 22, and he was like 36.
Yeah.
And he brought his Takamine.
Oh yeah.
Takamine,
Yeah.
however
Sure.
you say it.
Sure.
Big, acoustic guitar. And I'm like, oh my God, my brother is so cool. And I wasn't even like singing yet.
Oh wow.
Like in bands.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was singing and I was playing guitar and I
Sure.
was screwing around with it. Still in college trying to become a teacher, right? And I'll never forget, he shows up and I'm like, what do you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, well, you love Rush, right? Do you like Yes? And he goes, oh, I love Yes. But he's seen Rush like 100 times.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like
Sure,
obsessed.
Sure.
You'd never know talking to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just quiet,
Yeah.
chill dude. And then I said, well, do you know Mood for a Day? Do you know that Yes song? It's an instrumental.
Okay.
It's basically just I think it's on a classical guitar.
Yeah. I haven't gotten there yet.
And he just busted it out. And I'm like, you're my brother.
Whoa.
Oh my God. My mind was blown.
Yeah. 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 You're like, here we go.
That was one of the coolest moments of my life.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
When somebody you just met who you're actually related to
Yeah. And you realize.
and didn't know,
Yeah.
like more than 6 months before
Yeah.
that you even had.
So there's talent around in your.
Yeah, he started taking voice lessons after I started like
there
singing
you
in
go.
bands and stuff, and
See.
he's got a great voice.
Yeah. That's cool.
My brother PJ played bass. We played drums as kids. My first instrument was drums.
Oh,
I
wow.
think we talked about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad just didn't want me to be a drummer, so he'd come down and he'd be like, "All right, put him up like this."
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
And then, all right,
yeah.
one,
Old school. Yeah.
to old school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I would start getting faster too quick. So he'd be like, "No, you're getting too fast." And then I would start crying. I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Let's just go. I
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
I don't want to
yeah.
play."
Yeah. I did the same thing.
You took lessons though, right, as a kid?
I did that, and that didn't last
Really?
because it was and then I went through just public school. I think by 5th grade, it was like you could take drum lessons.
Yeah.
I took drum lessons from like the old guy,
You said
on the
Vic.
drum,
Vic
and then
Steffens?
and then Vic came later.
Vic was your teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was the best. So, yeah, and then 5th, 6th grade, around that time, then I pieced together a drum kit and started. I mean, I didn't know shit. I didn't know what any sound. I just didn't know what any sound was. My parents didn't know anything. I just put together, a piece of wood, just trying to, and then I've told the story too many times.
I'm sorry.
No, and then I wanted to play bass.
Right.
So my parents bought me a bass and an amp and took me to the local music store to sign up for bass lessons. I took like 3 lessons. I was terrible. I'm still mediocre. I couldn't remember the name. I can't remember it doesn't make sense. It doesn't click.
Right.
And I started fooling around on the drums when the bass player left the room and said, "You're a drummer?" And I wasn't. But I had the ear to play drums, and he introduced me to Vic, who was the drum teacher. And I switched from bass to drums. And with Vic, he was great because he tied together. I knew how to read, and he taught me how to read drum set music and kind of get it together and put me through a couple of books and stuff. And then it would just be like the answer guy. Like, it got to the point where he would come to my house, and I would wait. I had a stack of records, and he would show up, and I would have a Queen record and just drop the needle and go, "How's he doing that?" And Vic would go, "Okay, that's this." And he just showed me everything.
Wow.
Like, any answer, I'd be like, "What's that?" "Oh, okay, that's this. And he just showed me everything.
Show you how to physically do it.
Yeah. He's a great, I realize now that some people don't realize
I've
that
sung
Vic
with
was
him
a
at
drummer.
the drums.
Yeah, he's great. He's
Couple times.
a good guy I now also realize the right kind of drummer to learn from, because he's the kind of drummer I still like. Just songs. Like, chops are cool and they're there, but this is how you get the gig. This is what you do.
Right.
And he
like
played.
utility, more like utility.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And that was cool, because then when I would come to him with something that was crazy, he was like, "You don't need that. Here, how about this?" And it actually got me working. It made me a working musician rather than, no offense, we all know him, but like, drum nerds who can play every Rush tune but never left the basement.
Right.
I learned to make a band work because Vic was my teacher.
Right.
So I was lucky.
Wow.
Really, really lucky. But those were my lessons.
Wow.
And then when he retired, started becoming more of a producer, he still had all these leftover kind of, gigs that he was doing as a drummer, and he started chucking me the gigs.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and I was a kid.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So that's how I started getting passed around with all that generation.
It's harder now, I think.
Yeah, well, back then there was still the remnants of when the drinking age was 18. There was more of a scene, so
and not like a police state.
Right.
For everybody coming home.
Right. That, as I understand it, that was the demise, which might have been what he was looking at too.
That's how I've been told.
Right. So I got there as it ended. There were still fumes that I rode for a decade or two, and now we're where whatever this is.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Well, I think I know what it is. So back then, yeah, drinking age was 18. There was no DUI laws. There was no cable TV. Your band wasn't that good. Just everyone was going to try to get laid or whatever, and have a good time.
Have a good time.
And the band was there because that was what we thought was
entertainment was.
Right. And then when there's more options, people still choose music, but they go to see you at the theater.
Right.
It's not so at the bar there's trivia or karaoke, which I do. I'm part of the problem too, but I do karaoke on the weekends.
That's fun.
It just happened.
You
I
told me
don't
that.
even know how it happened. But but if you're in people that are younger, they want to go to a bar and just play the jukebox and talk. They're not going to pay attention to and the bar's not going to pay a 4 or 5 piece band.
Mm-hmm.
But those same kids will go to a brewery where there's a duo, and they're okay with it because they can talk or not.
Yep.
Or to them, it's a show. So they will go to see the Garden. They'll go to a theater to have a musical experience,
right,
rather than a bar room experience.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the shift. And that's why, hence, like, I'm in the tribute band thing too. Like, all of a sudden you go, oh, people that still care about music will sit in a theater and watch you. And that's better for us anyway.
They buy a ticket, they sit.
Yeah.
They're not getting sloppy and.
But is it making a living schlepping in and out of every bar like it was? No. But was it even a living then? I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
But not.
When I first started playing bars.
Kind of.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
What was better.
Right.
You know.
Right. So you made it work. That's what we all do.
Right. a lot of gigs and a lot of different bands
Sure.
when it was just bars.
Sure.
Because
sure.
I needed to pay the rent.
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah, that doesn't seem to happen as much,
No.
but
No. I don't want to play bars anymore.
Well,
and I
that's
don't
not-
know if that's like me being a snob.
I think it's we're no offense, we're getting older.
Yeah.
And we're realizing, like what I did for myself. I love my story's weird. I love music in the first place. I don't care if I ever even played it. Like I was a freak for music when I was a little kid.
Me too.
Drums were the path of least resistance. Now I'm doing it. That's fine. In the end, I almost don't care if I ever play. As long as I can put music in my ear holes, I'm good. Something that I like. I like to play. I love to play. But I just figure if I'm going to play at all, I would rather it be in a theater where people are paying attention. And if I do that 10 times a year, that's better than schlepping in and out of a bar every weekend where no one cares and you hate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I do that at the karaoke gig.
Right.
I just do that. And anyway,
I love that.
The secret life. And the best part about me being a karaoke host is I'm completely the way I am. If everybody, I just be like, you people suck. No one's paying any attention. What's wrong with you?
You could be yourself.
Yeah. And they just go, this guy's awesome. And then they pay attention. Like I can just totally,
Just say what you mean.
Yeah.
And mean what you say.
Yeah, they don't care. It's my
Yeah.
hometown. They're just like, oh, he's awesome. He went to school with my mom. Or whatever they think. So I'm still out there in the bars. I'm just doing that now. But then when I get a call to do something cool on drums, I do it.
Right.
And it's fun.
And you can say yes if you want to say yes.
Yeah.
And you can say no if you want to say no.
Hopefully. Yeah, theoretically.
I
I mean, I
can't
got to
say no to
teach. I have to piece together. I still have to make a living. I got to piece all these things together.
Yeah.
It was easier when you just got in the car and played the gig and not worried about it. But
Well, let me ask you a quick question?
times change. Yeah.
I don't know if I like the performing or the listening to music on the way there and the way home.
Yeah,
I like you said something about being an avid listener. Like I enjoy the long drives just as much.
That's what
and I don't call people.
I miss the drives
should.
more than the gigs.
I don't call, like, I didn't keep in touch with anybody this year because I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I was in the car. But Leon, you were in the car for like 5 hours. Yeah, I was listening to music.
I was listening to the Doors box set or
Yeah,
whatever,
right.
whatever it is.
Like, I have a whole bunch of new artists that I like now because I did so much driving. And I love listening to music. That's meditation for me.
Yeah, me too.
I don't listen to podcasts as much as I should. And here we are on one. I do. I like to when there's, especially, you know which one I think I listened to you and Chris Jensen. I watched that like
cool.
twice.
Oh, good.
Because I made Alex listen to it too.
that was awesome. Yeah.
That was a really good interview.
Yeah, no, the real deal.
What a story.
We're
But
going to
yeah.
run over. I don't want to run
shoot.
over. We
my
talked
God.
about nothing. We talked about, we did, but I don't know.
February 7th, Seven Angels Theater in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Waterbury,
with my
Connecticut.
band. I'm featuring 5 students, and
Hey, that's cool.
but they're songs that I picked. Speaking of listening, that's the biggest one I have. coming up.
February 7th.
I'm throwing a party at my studio at the Safe House on New Year's Eve, and if you didn't see an invite, you're invited.
Okay.
Just call me, DM me,
Okay,
and yeah, we open it up.
cool.
I make it a private event, but if anybody is interested in coming and jamming at our New Year's Eve party, send me a message.
Yeah, I think I'm working. All right, anyone wants to hear, it was a year ago you were here, a little bit more of the history of how and when and who and why and all that. This was more just like hanging out.
We're chilling. You're having a conversation.
So if you want to know what her favorite album, Desert Island albums are, you're going to have to listen to the old interview.
What was it, 136?
Yeah, or something like
134,
that.
132,
Yeah,
something.
we're 189 now. So we're getting there. And also, I don't know if we're going to have any more shows before the new year because next Tuesday is Christmas Eve and the following is New Year's Eve. Maybe we'll get a Thursday in, maybe we won't. But in case we don't, to any listeners or viewers, happy holiday, Merry Christmas, have fun, Happy New Year, do your thing, whatever thing you do.
Whatever it is.
Do it. Don't do it like Jim Morrison would do it, to that extent, but do half. A half of a Morrison or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm on this thing.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I could talk about that all night.
Oh, God.
But we're
Well,
over.
you come back again.
I will. I would love to.
We'll do it. We are, yes, I'm hoping this year, the coming year, we're going to have remote. I'm going to have anybody in the world on now. You don't have to be here. This is the goal. So we're going to try to do, and we're going to blow this thing wide open.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah,
I
do
hope
it.
so. But Leanne Lovelace
Thank
was
you.
here again.
Thanks for having me again.
Thank you. Last time I saw you, did you see me fall off the stage at Chicken Stock? That I jumped off the back when I was loading out and did not realize how high it was?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was
Remember?
in midair going, I should have hit the ground by now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I totally wiped out.
But you didn't roll an ankle or anything.
Got up like a champ.
I know. I was so surprised. I was like,
Me
oh,
too.
man, we're going to the hospital.
I felt like a badass because I just got up and I was like, yep,
yeah, you were like,
nothing sticking out. I'm
nothing.
good. Yeah.
You were like, no, I'm fine.
But I went in the dust. Though.
Why would you ask me if I'm okay?
I landed in
I'm
a
fine.
pile though. I got up like.
Oh, that was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. It's okay though. I survived.
Yeah, I forgot Chicken Stock. That was fun.
Yeah,
I didn't forget it.
I didn't
just forgot
realize
that you
how
fell.
high that. I just kind of scooted off of it and was just like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
this is a long fall.
Coming up the side of that thing in
Yeah.
heels. I'm like, why did I wear heels to a farm?
Well.
Not heels, but platforms.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Anyway,
better luck
I'm
next
glad
time.
you were okay.
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
We would have ended up driving you to the hospital.
I know.
At least the stage didn't blow away this year.
Yeah. Oh really? Blew away one time.
Last year,
Right.
we watched the stage from the cars blow away.
That's
It was a
funny.
micro burst,
Yeah.
not a tornado, but almost.
Whoa.
That was
That's
Tracy didn't
crazy.
tell you about that.
I don't. No, I don't think so.
Oh God.
We'll see.
That's
All right,
horrible.
we gotta go.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Drive safe.
I will.
Be careful.
You too.
All right, hey, John Peckman Podcast, Skank of Valley School Music and Dance Move downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, go through one set of lights, pull a U, park in front of the thing. Thanks a lot for listening, kids. We will probably see you next year. I think we're going to have a couple weeks off. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But happy holidays. Do your thing. Do your thing. Whatever your thing is, do it. Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you, John.
Have a good one. Drive safe. See you all. Why do I say drive safe? You drive safe.
I'll drive
I don't know
safe.
who I'm talking to. All right.
Lee.
See you later. That is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.